Hi everybody, and welcome back to AmandaMuse. Oh no, is my camera screen a little bit dirty? Oh God. Sorry guys. Handprints. Hi and welcome back. So today we are going to be jumping into some parenting hacks. For a lot of you, you know that I'm often can be found parenting. Sorry, you guys could see my reflection in the mirror. That's distracting. But you guys know that sometimes I parent solo. My husband travels for work, and there are times where I just got to do it by myself. And so one disclaimer I want to say right off the bat is that this is not comparing itself to single parenting in any shape or form, because that's a completely different discussion and it's a completely different mindset. This is talking about solo parenting. So when you are a two-person team and you are going, hi Shakira, hi Debbie, you're a two-person team and one person is away. So we're going to be talking about how I basically do it alone, because there's been times where Dean's been gone for one day or my husband's been gone for 5, 6, 7 days. And the way that I handle those moments are similar but kind of different in the same token. So let's jump into this, shall we? Hello everybody. Thank you for tuning in live. Super fun. I want to say one thing as people are starting to trickle in. Happy Father's Day to everybody who is a dad, who acts as a dad, you know, all of the things, who has a dad. Yesterday I put out a fun video and it was the kids answering questions about Dean. Cracked me up. And then at the very end, I put in some photos, some never before seen photos. So if you haven't seen it yet, at the very end, I will leave a link below, but don't leave yet. Stick around for the live and then go watch that video later. It's a short and sweet one. So I'm seeing a lot of comments here. Oh, thank you, Debbie. I'm seeing a lot of comments here that you also parent by yourself, that your partners are firefighters, they're in the military, they're working really long shifts or they're away. And I totally get that. So background, if you're new, my husband is a pilot, has been one forever. And when we first started dating, he would travel away a lot. The Mom's View. Yes, of course I watch it. They've been around forever on YouTube. But I'll get to some questions at the end. But I get distracted during live videos. Sorry, guys. So my partner, my husband of a long, long time, when we first started dating, he would be away for extended periods of time, anywhere from like 2 to 3 weeks. One time it was 5 weeks total that he was away, and it was really, really hard. So I feel like these hacks, if you will, can be applied to a lot of different situations. And disclaimer, now that there's more people in the live video here, this is not single parenting, not even close. I am not a single parent. I have a husband, he's my partner in crime, and we do this parenting gig together. This is going to be talking about how I handle it when he's away. All right, let's jump into it. The first one. So number one, the biggest one ever, is to pace yourself. I feel like I'm always reminding myself this when I'm by myself parenting. So whether it's one day that you're by yourself or 5, 6, 7 days, depending on what your situation is, I find I just pace myself. Like, don't do everything fun in the first 2 hours. Don't burn yourself out. And I'm going to get to a lot of other points. I have 10 total, but basically that's the big one, is don't do everything all at once, because if you're going to be in this for 5 days, you do have to yeah, exactly. Sometimes you can't do it all and it's okay, totally. But you're probably going to have some fun things planned, and you're probably going to do some things that are out of the normal schedule, but just pace yourself. So they are unsettled. Generally speaking, your kids know when there's a parent that's not around, and they're going to show signs of it, whether it's extra tantrums or maybe a little sass, back talking kind of thing, or just generally being a little bit more sensitive than usual. So the first one is pace yourself. I always pace myself. I always remind myself, you've got this, girlfriend, 3 more days, 2 more days, that kind of deal. Number 2 is plan fun things. I like to look at it like, we gotta do this, one foot in front of the other. So why not have a little fun while we do it? So I'll do random things like we'll have picnic dinners in front of the TV. I don't normally do this. I'm a huge fan of sitting at the table, like right here, having dinner, even if my kids don't sit that long. Hi, Alex. But I'm a huge fan of just do stuff that's totally out of normal. Like, my evenings are pretty sacred. They've always been like that ever since I was in school. It's just it's a school night. You don't leave. But what I'll do is maybe we'll just pack up the car and we'll go get an ice cream and run around a garden in the evening. We don't do that, but it's something that's kind of fun. And I even tell the kids, I know daddy's out of town and it sucks. He's gonna be home in a couple days, but why don't we do something fun? Let's go on an adventure. Let's go get ice cream and run around a garden. And honestly, it works. It tuckers them out. They get tired. And they also feel like they have this special thing that they do with mom or with the parent that's home when the other parent is away. So that's something I like to do. And I talk about rewards and stuff like that. I'll get to that in a minute. So number 3 is planning downtime. So if you are like me and you do work from home, or if you're working outside of the home and you're tired and you need a little break when you come home, I truly, as much as I'm keeping things fun and we're doing fun things because daddy's away, I'm also gonna schedule in some quiet time. And we're gonna sit down and we're gonna like watch a movie, and that's what we're gonna do for 2 hours. And even just recently I had to do something, I think it was even yesterday, I was editing a video, and I said to Esme, like, listen, hun, mom's gotta work. You know that mommy works a weird job. I have to do this video. We're gonna watch a movie, and by the time you're done your movie, we're gonna go do something fun. And we did. I took them out for a fast food dinner. We went and drive through and we had a great time. But I just, like, I communicate this stuff. I think, you know, we often talk about, you know, our children, and of course their ages will play a factor, but like your kids are capable of understanding a lot. And if I explain to them like, hey, dad's out of town, it's hard because mommy's got to do a lot of stuff, but you know what, let's just take a break for 5 minutes or 2 hours, mom will do this, and when we regroup we'll go have some fun. So I think it's a good start. On the token of downtime, I think, or on the note of downtime, it's also important for you to just like, whether you're working from home and you need to actually get stuff done, or if you need like a coffee break, take it, because you are the only parent right now. And that's another point that I have, but you know, you need to like pace yourself, coming back to that number 1 point. Number 4, I love me some iPad time. And yes, Megan, treating them like humans who can understand, so much better than fighting over it. Totally. And give them that responsibility. Like, tell them, you're a big girl and I need your help. You know, oftentimes when, I'll get to number 4 in a second here, but oftentimes when Dean is going away, he'll say to Esme and Jack, like, okay, you have to take care of mommy, you know, you have to help mom because I'm away, and you have to help with your brother, and giving them that responsibility and sort of like rewarding them, not even with toys, but with your attention and with you noticing, can really be a big deal. So sometimes I forget that, like, I don't need to always buy a toy to say you've done a good job. Maybe we'll do something you really like to do. Like I've mentioned in previous videos, like I'm not a huge fan of sitting down and playing, boring, but I'll do it if that's the reward, you know? Alex, I missed your comment. I think it was about bedtimes. I'll get to that in a second. Number 4 is use iPads. Like if you're downtime, I mean, you all know your kids better than anybody else. Mine will sit in front of a TV and watch a movie, for sure. They won't watch 2 movies, but they'll for sure get 1 movie out of the way. They also love their iPads. And sometimes we're gonna have breakfast and you're gonna watch your iPad because I need to have a coffee, and like I'm not a morning person, and so I really need to like ease into my day. And if for that day to be successful, we're gonna be on our iPads for an hour, so be it, let it be done. No one is gonna be that affected in their life by watching an iPad. And I could use the downtime. I could catch up on my emails for an hour. So I think don't be afraid of scheduling that downtime and even that screen time into your day, because 7 days is a long time to be going at parenting by yourself. And I think it's like, again, pace yourself, work it in, and don't feel guilty about it. Like you are a better parent if you get a little break, right? Number 5, yes, Heather, meals too, pancakes for dinner or chicken nuggets. Yes, girlfriend. Yesterday we went out and had Wendy's for dinner because, you know what? It was that kind of night. I missed that one, Megan, but she was talking about the rewards factor. But that's a great comment about it doesn't have to be toys and it doesn't have to be purchase things. Yes, Debbie, even the whole day can be hard. Totally. Like even if it's just summer break, you know, like that's coming, and it's got me thinking about like, how am I going to get through summer when I've been now getting used to Esme being at school? And yeah, Kimbra, exactly. It just made me realize like these parenting hacks are totally can just be for parenting, like when you have to be at home, stay-at-home parents, and how do you manage yourself through the day? So number 5 is just expect that you're going to be on more than usual. Because one thing I certainly appreciate and value in my spouse is that he takes the reins a lot of the time for parenting. And you may not consciously realize it, but you probably tune out a lot. So that was an odd comment. But you probably tune out a little bit more than you realize when you're just like, I'm gonna take a break and like sit down and check my emails, or I'm gonna like go to the bathroom or have a shower or get ready or do things where maybe your parenting ear is not totally on. So when you're by yourself, it's gonna be. And I think knowing that, it's like just keep your expectations a little bit low perhaps in being able to get everything done. And just like know that. And so just be aware of your energy levels and coming back to like work that downtime into your day. If you know that you need a couple of breaks in the day, take them. You know, your kids will appreciate you doing that. And yes, I do drink coffee. Of course, I'm buzzing right now, caffeinated. Number 6, and this I come back to at the very end, but reward yourself. So, you know, like kind of in my mind, when I know that Dean is away, I'm like, it's okay, because when he comes back, I'm gonna go get my hair done. Like I legit have a hair appointment on Friday of this week. I'm like, you know what I mean? It's like, I'm gonna go do this, or I'm going to whatever it is, whatever that reward is for yourself, sort of have that playing, because I feel like I work well in a reward system, and because I work from home, I parent from home, I do everything at home. For me, it's going out and doing stuff, and I really look forward to that, and I remind myself that it's coming, that I have this outing happening, and it helps me trick my mind into like, I got this, I can do this, one foot in front of the other. Number 7 is one that I personally struggle with, and this is do things, tasks as they occur and as they need to happen. So I've been really good at this past week. An example would be laundry. Sometimes the laundry can get the best of me. I'm sure there's a lot of people who feel that way. And I don't want it to consume my life, and I don't want the stress of knowing that it has to be done consume me. So I did laundry the last 3 days, and I just would do them as they came across or as it came up. Yes, Megan, I hate laundry. Me too. It's horrible, but it needs to be done, and it's better when I only have to do 3 loads instead of 8. So I'm like, I just do it. I know it needs to be done. I know I want to sit down and I want to take that little break, but I would prefer to like have my break when the kids are asleep, knowing that I got everything done and I can actually just like check out and enjoy some child-free time, you know? Natalie, it's a great question. I'll see if I can jump to some questions at the end. Yeah, so that's the one thing. Like clean the kitchen when you have the time and when you have the energy. Because if you have made the mistake, like I've done several times, of leaving all of these household errands to the end of the day, girl, you're not gonna get them done. Like you're gonna be tired. I am exhausted by the end of the day when I've been solo parenting, and the last thing I wanna do is clean my house. Although if you've been watching my Insta stories the last few days, I do it. Because I know that if I don't do it now, it's just gonna ruin my whole day the next day. Do you know what I mean? Like if I don't handle the tasks now, if I wake up to a dirty kitchen, it just sets me off on the wrong foot. So do the tasks as they occur, learn from my mistakes. Number 8 kind of makes sense. I've been saying this sort of throughout, is follow a schedule. So if you have a usual schedule in terms of nap times, bed times, bath times, stick to it. You know, depending on, depending on the time of day. So, or excuse me, on the day. Like if your partner is away and it's a Friday, maybe they're away for the weekend. Okay, you could, like, you know, we'll play with bedtimes. We don't have to. I'm not such a drill sergeant on when they need to go to bed. But if it's a school night, you're going to bed. But I also, you know, this is number 9, but I keep my expectations a little bit low. I know that there's going to be a little bit more of a battle to go to bed. I know that, you know, instead of being in bed at 8 o'clock, it might be more like 9, and the process seems like it takes forever. But I just try to like have patience with myself, remind myself that it's not forever, like I'm not going to be by myself all the time. And I think it's just like you sort of are having this internal dialogue the whole time, because it's not fair to freak out on your kids. And I've yelled at them for things that I shouldn't really have yelled at them at, because I'm tired, because I'm feeling taxed out. But if you just keep the lines of communication open and you're respectful of their feelings, because as you get further and further into, like, let's say you've got a 7-day solo parenting gig happening and you're on day 5, your kids are probably feeling a little bit more sensitive. They really miss the other parent, and it's just being attentive to that. Like all of you are kind of feeling off because your system's out of whack, right? Like your person's away, and that changes the flow of the family. So it's just being like aware of that. But as much as you stick to a schedule, it keeps that normal feeling, that sort of like, everything keeps going tickety boom, like you can just kind of carry on. So I'm a big fan of that. Try to stick to your schedules. And then I talked about keeping your expectations low. I've got one more, 10. But keeping your expectations low and appreciating that you are just but one mere mortal, and there's only so much you can do. And like Megan was saying, being a decent human being on school mornings is tough. I agree. I do a lot more voice raising than I'm proud of when people are running late. But again, if I stick to my schedule, Danica, I'm going to talk about that, about talking to your partner about your struggles. But if I stick to my schedule and I actually get up when I'm supposed to, and I know that my kids need to be awake by 7:30 for things to flow, and even if it's 15 minutes off schedule, Mama's going to be yelling. Nobody wants that. So as much as I'm tired and I went to bed too late, you get your booty out of bed and you stick to that schedule. And this last one talks a little bit about rewarding yourself. So oftentimes I will plan a date night. Like I've got date night this Friday. I'm so excited. It's been a long time, but it's my little reward. I miss my husband. I want to hang out with him. And so we're going to have a little date night. And he doesn't know about it yet because my husband doesn't like plans, but I've planned it. It's in my schedule, But then the other thing is just like what Danica was saying is, how much do you share with your husband or your partner your struggles? And my truth is that I keep it to a minimum because, and this, I don't know, some people overshare. I don't like to verbal diarrhea my person, and I'm really good at that. So you know what I'm talking about. You've been home all day with your baby, talking to this googly goo goo gaga baby. Your partner comes in and you're like, I'm an adult who speaks in full sentences, and you're just like, I have so much to tell you, and you just with everything. In my experience, that never goes well. Sometimes I get the reminder from Dean and he's like, woman, I just got home. Can you just tone it down, rein it in for a few minutes? And I think that truly over years of doing that it never goes well. So oftentimes I will just maybe they know, right? Your partner knows that it's a struggle. They don't if my husband is a home creature, and it's hilarious that he is a pilot because he always he doesn't do well when he's away from home. So he's got a struggle. He wants to be home. He wants to be with his children and me, and he wants to be helping, and he knows that there's a lot on my plate. So he's already feeling the guilt and the burden of that. But the fact is he's not on some holiday right now. He's working, and this is what he's doing to provide for our family. And so I respect that. I take out the selfish of oh my God, I need a damn break. And I also work it into my schedule. So today, for example, my daughter's in school and my son is at daycare. And I know that I'm getting a little bit of a break and I'm going to get my stuff done, and I'm not relying 100% on my partner to fulfill every single need that I have. And that maybe goes into a whole other video subject about relationships and, fulfilling your own needs and not forcing your husband to do all of that, or your partner. Heather was saying, I think it takes an adjustment for the kids too. When the partner gets home, they still just want you. In my case, my kids are peace out, mom, dad's home. And so I'm all good with that, but I also am respectful of has he been working all night? Is he exhausted? Should I help with that? I don't think it's fair, and trust me, I don't get this right all the time, but I don't think it's fair when your partner comes home to be bye, they're yours now, and I'm out. Give them a minute to reintegrate into the family. Maybe they're exhausted, in Dean's case, he flies, and so does he need a shower? Does he need a minute to grab a sandwich, just to decompress, come home from work? So I think it's fluid. Summer was saying, I agree, I used to do that too, but not anymore. And I think we all go through it, right? I mean, we don't all come into you can't always be selfless, and you can't always be totally on top of your game. But if you kind of come back to some of those other points I was mentioning, it's Nautical Gal was saying, the sympathy and accolades from my husband while he's gone. Totally. And I think that's a good message for your partner or yourself if you're the one away traveling, is be like, hey, thank you. I know you don't have to thank your partner that you went away, but it's nice, it's respectful to be like, hey, I really appreciate that you held down the fort while I was away. The kids seem to be having so much fun. You know, having that communication, I think, goes a long way, and it really sets the tone for when the reverse happens. Because when I went away, which never happens, but I went away for that fun, yes, exactly, Alex, empathy. But when I went to Florida for 3 nights and 4 days, like, it was a work thing, but it was also really, really fun. And I didn't get any slack about that. I didn't get any negativity. And it's nice. It felt good. Like, there wasn't that guilt that caught in. Oh, I'm so glad you caught me live. That's so fun. So those are my 10 things that I really try to think about when I'm solo parenting. But as we were talking, a lot of these can definitely be applied to, like, parenting in the summer, you know, stay-at-home moms and dads. And yes, Maggie, her husband sends her sweet text messages every morning telling her how much he appreciates what she does. Absolutely amazing. And it's those little things, right? Like, just like our kids, we don't need to buy them all of these things to show our appreciation. Sometimes it's just taking the time to say nice things, or with young children, doing what they like to do, whether it's like playing zombie tag or playing Barbies or whatever it is, you know? Like, I think that there's a lot of stuff, right? So anyway, I hope that you got a little something out of this video. If you're new, I would love it if you would consider subscribing, because I put up videos 3 times a week here on YouTube, Mondays live, Wednesdays and Sundays. And I'll also be going live tomorrow on Tuesday on Facebook at 2 p.m. So I'm seeing some really great comments coming in about maybe doing a video about that concept of rewards and how you reward your children. I would love to do a video like that. And yes, hi Debbie, it was so fun. I love it when you guys leave me comments and chat with me. That's what I love about the live video. That and the very limited amount of editing that is required. So it's super fun. Oh, I'm sorry you missed it, Fleur. But there's gonna be the replay. You can always watch the replay. But yeah, oh, Summer, that's a great one. 10 hacks on adjusting to more children. You just had your second baby. Congratulations. And that's a good one. Hacks are always fun, right? Because you think, sometimes you don't appreciate when you're going through something that it's like, oh yeah, I use these tips and tricks to, like, survive that little point in time, and it could be beneficial to hear. So anyways, hope you enjoyed this. Like I said, go back and watch the video that the kids did for Dean. It's so fun. It's a little Father's Day 5-minute video. You're gonna love it. Fun photos at the end. And on Wednesday, I'm gonna be putting out a what I eat in a day. So I think you guys are gonna like it. So should be a good one. All right, guys, have a wonderful day, and I will see you when I see you tomorrow, perhaps live on Facebook. Links below. Bye, guys.